Have you ever been tempted to chase everything at once, riches, peace, fame, all at the same time, only to end up with nothing? Well, sit close, my friend, because today I will tell you a story of a young man, a village, and two magical paths, one paved with gold and the other with peace. What he chose changed everything. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and join our family of storytellers. Every tale we share holds a truth, and today's truth might just save someone from a great fall. Now listen closely. Long ago, before the winds forgot their songs and the stars lost their shine, there was a village called Njani. It was a small village with dusty paths, clay houses, and hills that whispered ancient secrets when the wind passed through. In that village lived a boy named Duma. From the moment he could walk, Duma learned how hard life could be. His father had died when he was just 5, leaving behind a wooden hoe, a tiny farmland, and a name that people only whispered when they pitied the poor. His mother, Makazi, worked from sunup to sundown. Her back bent like a bow, her hands rough like tree bark. She sold firewood and clay pots, but it was never enough. Their meals were often boiled roots and leftover porridge. When it rained, water slipped through the holes in their thatched roof, and they would sit under a calabash to stay dry. But Duma dreamed. He would stare at the hills in the distance and imagine riches beyond the clouds. He saw himself dressed in fine robes, with gold rings on every finger, servants bowing and crowds cheering his name. He wanted more than survival. He wanted power, respect, and above all, wealth. He hated watching other boys wear sandals while his toes kissed the earth. He hated how elders would shake their heads whenever he passed by, whispering, "That one won't go far. He has nothing." He promised himself he would change his story. Not just for him, but for his mother. One evening, after another long day of cutting wood with calloused hands, Duma sat beside a dying fire outside their hut. His mother was asleep inside, her soft snoring rising and falling like the rhythm of a forgotten lullaby. Duma stared at the stars, whispering his dreams to the sky. "I want more," he said. "More than this village, more than this dust. I want gold, land, a life where people see me, not pity me." The wind carried his words away. But this night was different. The fire flickered suddenly, though no wind blew. The shadows around the hut stretched and twisted. Duma sat up, his heart pounding. And then, from the darkness, came a figure. He wore a long black cloak. His face was hidden beneath a hood. But his voice, it was like wind wrapped in honey. "Duma." Duma's eyes widened. "How do you know my name?" "The stars know. The wind knows. And now I know too. I've come with a message." Duma took a step back. "What do you want?" "Not what I want, what you want. You whispered your wish, and the world heard. Now, 2 paths have opened for you. One leads to gold, riches, power. The other leads to peace, love, and a simple, happy life. You must choose." Duma's mouth went dry. "Why me?" "Because you dared to ask. But know this." The stranger's voice dropped lower, colder. "You cannot walk both paths. You must choose one." And just like that, the man was gone. Duma looked around wildly, but the shadows returned to normal. The fire settled, and the silence of the night crept in again. That night Duma tossed and turned on his sleeping mat. His mother whispered his name once in her sleep, but he was already lost in a dream. In it, he stood at the edge of a dark forest. Before him stretched 2 roads. One sparkled with gold, with tall gates made of diamonds and guards made of fire. The other was calm, green, filled with birdsong and soft winds. Families sat laughing on the side of the road. A woman who looked like his mother smiled peacefully under a tree. A voice echoed in his head. "One brings power but costs peace. One brings peace but costs power. Choose, Duma, choose." He woke up sweating, the morning sun already rising. His heart was loud, his throat dry, but his mind was sharp. "Duma, go fetch some firewood," his mother said, as she stirred the pot over the fire. "Yes, Mama." He walked deep into the forest, carrying a small axe. But he wasn't thinking about firewood. He was thinking about the stranger. He was thinking about the paths. Then, just as he reached the place where the trees grew thickest, he saw it. 2 paths, just like in the dream. One shone with gold dust, strange lights dancing over it. The other was quiet, peaceful, with flowers blooming along its sides. He stared at both, breath shallow, chest rising and falling like a drum. "Choose." He heard the word not with his ears, but in his chest. And Duma made a choice, but not the one he was told to make. He stepped with one foot on the golden path and the other foot on the peaceful one. For a moment, he smiled. The wind cooled his skin. The scent of flowers mixed with the shine of wealth. He laughed. "I will walk both. I will have peace and power. I will have it all." But the forest did not laugh. The ground beneath him shook. The gold grew sharp. The peaceful flowers turned to ash. And then, the storm began. The moment Duma tried to walk both paths, the world around him screamed. Thunder cracked across a clear sky. The trees trembled. The golden path turned brittle and sharp like broken glass. The peaceful path withered like a dying river. Duma stumbled back, but it was too late. The ground cracked open and he fell. He fell through fire. He fell through ice. He fell through shadows that whispered lies in his ears. When he woke up, he was not in the forest. He was in a dark valley. The air was heavy. The sky was black. No sound, no wind. He tried to walk, but the gold on his hands had turned to chains. The flowers at his feet had become thorns. He wandered for days, or maybe weeks. He had no food, no water, only regret. He shouted for the stranger. No one came. He cried for his mother. The valley swallowed his voice. One night he collapsed, tears mixed with dirt on his face. "I was wrong," he whispered. "I was greedy. I wanted everything, and now I have nothing." A light flickered in the distance, a familiar voice. "You chose both, and lost both. But still, you are breathing. That means your lesson is not finished." The stranger stood before him again. "Please," Duma begged, "let me go back. I will choose the peaceful path. I will work. I will love. I will be content." The stranger looked deep into his soul. Then he nodded. A door opened in the valley. Warm light spilled through, and Duma stepped into it. Duma woke up beside the forest path, his axe still in hand, but everything felt different. The wind sang again, the birds chirped, and he wept, not from pain, but from understanding. He ran home. His mother was cooking. "Where have you been?" she asked. Duma dropped to his knees. "Mama, I was lost, but I found my path now. I want nothing more than to live, work hard, and love you well." Her eyes softened. She touched his hair. That day, Duma returned to the farm. He fixed the roof. He planted yams. He helped the old. He played with children. And every time he saw someone chasing 2 dreams at once, greed and peace, he told them, "You can't walk 2 paths. Choose wisely." And so, Duma's story lives on. A boy who wanted it all, but learned that peace is a greater treasure than gold. Dear listener, let his journey remind you, you can't serve 2 masters. Greed and contentment do not walk hand in hand. To truly live, you must choose the path your heart can carry, and carry it well. If this story touched your heart, subscribe, share with a friend, and remember, sometimes having less can mean living more. Until the next tale, stay wise, stay content,